Hi and welcome. Today's video is 5 postures specifically for hot flashes. So these are specifically designed to manage and prevent hot flashes. I have chosen these 5 postures because they will calm the mind, they'll restore hormonal balance, and they'll cool your body down. So whether you're looking to alleviate hot flashes in the moment, sort of an acute situation, or if you're looking to prevent them in the future, you can use this practice for both. Now, at the end of the practice, of the asana practice, there are 2 pranayama techniques. We're going to be doing Sheetali or Sheetkari. You'll choose one of the 2, and then we'll be ending with Nadi Shodhana. And we'll get more into those details a little bit later. And those pranayamas are chosen because they're known in yoga and Ayurveda to reduce internal heat and to bring calm and some relief to those symptoms. So here's how to approach the practice. If, for example, you are experiencing a hot flash, you will focus on 2 of the postures. That's child's pose, which is Shashankasana. Child's pose, we're all really familiar with it, but you'll focus on that. Deep breathing, and Paschimottanasana, and that's the forward fold that we'll see a little bit later. And you'll do about 5 to 10 rounds of that, and then you'll start your Sheetali or Sheetkari Pranayama. Now, if you're looking for mostly preventative practice, then you'll perform the whole series of asanas and you'll conclude with 10 to 15 rounds of the pranayama, and that'll help regulate the body heat and maintain hormonal balance. Now, a few notes before we get started is that it's essential to practice in a cool, well-ventilated environment. Not cold, but maybe just room temperature, slightly warm if, with a little bit of heat. If you are practicing in the winter. You want to avoid heated rooms, overly heated rooms, and you want to avoid intense heat-generated practices. Some examples would be like Ashtanga yoga, or those practices that are done in a really heated room would be like, another example is Bikram or hot yoga. Any room that's heated over 75 to 78 degrees. Now, everyone is different in their tolerance of heat, but I would say that around 75 degrees, anything beyond that is going to be, perhaps for many, a little bit aggravating. And the reason we want to avoid those heated environments is because they're going to aggravate internal heat. They're going to trigger hot flashes down the road, and they elevate Pitta dosha. In Ayurveda, this is the principle that's associated with heat and fire in the body. And, going into, if you're familiar with Ayurveda, then hot flashes are actually a Vata Pitta, so it's Vata pushing Pitta, but we won't get into that right now. So instead, this sequence and pranayama techniques, they're providing a cooling, grounding, and nurturing experience. And if you're wanting to get cardio, then you'll want to do cardio so that you don't want to sweat. You want to just get a little glow to the skin. If you have beads of sweat, you're too hot. That's your indication that you're too hot. Our goal here is to feel more grounded, to feel more balanced, and to feel more at ease, and to be able to manage these hot flashes. I think that's it. Let's get started. See you soon. Okay, so we're going to start the practice, and we're going to start with Shashankasana, which is child's pose. We all know this posture, and this is one of the ones that you will do when you are experiencing a hot flash. So you're going to sit on the knees, extend the arms out, bring the head down. You can rest the elbows down. I like to keep them active, but it's up to you. And you're going to rest. Breathe in and out evenly, about 3/4 of the lung capacity. Make sure the inhales and the exhales are even in length and depth and texture. And you're going to try to, this particular posture It's a calming posture, it's internalized, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and this helps to reduce stress, it helps to reduce anxiety, which are the common triggers of hot flashes. So you'll stay here for at least 5 to 10 breaths. If you're doing it during a hot flash, then you can stay in here as long as you need. This next posture is Marjariyasana, and this is cat-cow pose. So similar to child's pose, you start on the hands and the knees. And this is much more dynamic than child's pose, but this dynamic movement between flexion and extension of the spine, this stimulates the adrenal glands, and that helps to balance hormones. And that plays a big role in stress and anxiety management. This movement also improves circulation, and that helps to regulate the body temperature. So you're going to exhale, curl the spine like a cat, that's the cat pose. You're going to drop the navel, lift the sit bones, lift the chest, lift the heart. You want to feel a lengthening along the front side of the body. And really open across the front of the neck here to extend along the thyroid and the parathyroid glands. And exhale, curl the chin in. I want you to curl. So you're really experiencing this whole posture like a mountain. Press into the palms of the hands. Press the tops of the feet down. It's super active. And then inhale. Do about 10 to 15 rounds, and in between, you'll lower down to child's pose. So this next posture is called Chaki Chalasana. And it's a posture where you're sitting up and you're moving the torso in a circular fashion. And this circular fashion and the engagement that it requires of the abdominal muscles, it's massaging the abdominal organs, it promotes digestion and detoxification. And that same detoxification process is what helps to balance pitta. And that's what's aggravated during hot flashes. The vata is pushing pitta, meaning the vata of these hormonal changes aggravates the pitta dosha and triggers hot flashes. The rhythmic movement also of the torso has a calming effect on the mind. So let's do it. So you start with your hands interlaced. You're sitting up nice and tall, feet are flexed. You're going to inhale, lean forward as much as possible into the center. Reach to the right. You're going to exhale. Reach to the right, inhale back. Lean to the left, all the way forward without strain. Exhale. Inhale. Back. Exhale front. Inhale back. You're going to do this 10 times. And after your 10th, you're going to come back to the middle and reverse it. Inhaling back. And exhale front. Lean as far forward as you can. Try not to let the feet sort of fall from side to side. Keep them steady. This is also good for irregular menstrual cycles. And when you're done, sit and observe. Okay, so the fourth posture that we're going to do is Sarvangasana, or shoulder stand. And this is a full inversion. I'll show you a few different modifications that you can use to get into it. Now, this particular posture, it supports the overall endocrine system by stimulating the thyroid and the parathyroid glands. This helps to regulate hormonal balance, it improves circulation, it brings blood to the brain, and it also calms the nervous system, so it turns on the parasympathetic nervous system. This posture can reduce the intensity and the frequency of the hot flashes. This is a posture that you will use as a preventative measure. So let's get started. You're going to start by lying down, Hello, Stella. She's my partner here. Okay, you're gonna lie down. Now, you're gonna start by bringing the knees together and bring the hips onto the hands. Now, this is part A. You can bring a block or something to sort of sit the hips on. That's your choice. But this is A. This is a great place to stay. You'll still get the inversion. Mostly what we want to do is we want to put pressure here on the thyroid. Gentle pressure. Maybe that's not even the right word, but we're just really kind of, all of the weight is coming into the arms and the shoulders. There's very little weight on the head. Now, when you do come into this position, don't move your head from side to side. Keep it still. You're committing to this particular position. Now, you can start to bring the legs up and over. Now, you can put them like this. Again, this you will get the benefits of the inversion. Eventually, you want to work your way up to, this is as much as I'm going to go today and be able to speak, but you want the hips to be stacked on top of the shoulders, and then eventually the toes to be stacked over the hips. The gaze is down the nose to the navel, the gaze is relaxed, and you want to stay here for at least 10 breaths, and you can work your way up to a minute or two or more. Work your way up slowly every week by a couple more breaths. So when practiced consistently, this sequence with the pranayamas can manage and prevent hot flashes because it's promoting overall physical and mental balance as well as hormonal fluctuations. Now, when to practice? When you are having an active hot flash, you will do two postures, child's pose and Paschimottanasana, the forward fold. And then you will end with 5 to 10 rounds of Sheetali or Sheetkari Pranayama, and we'll go over that here in a minute. And this will help to immediately soothe the nervous system and reduce that sensation of heat. Now, one thing especially is avoid Sarvangasana, avoid the shoulder stand. That's an intense posture, and it's stimulating, so that might actually aggravate the heat in the body. For preventative, to prevent hot flashes, you'll want to do this entire sequence, all the asanas and the pranayamas. Do 10 to 15 rounds of the pranayama. That'll help regulate the body heat and maintain hormonal balance. And overall, this will help the nervous system. It'll help regulate hormonal fluctuations, reduce the frequency and intensity of the hot flashes, which is what we're trying to do. Now, this is also whether or not you are choosing to use HRT or hormone replacement therapy, whether or not it's bioidentical hormones or not. You can incorporate this into your medical protocol. So we're going to start with Sheetali or Sheetkari. So I like to sit in Padmasana. You don't have to. You can sit in Padmasana. You can sit in crisscross applesauce like my 6-year-old says. You can sit on a bolster, you can sit on a block, whatever is most comfortable for you. So Sheetali is, you're going to stand up tall. We'll take a few moments and we'll be still. And then take a few deep breaths. Inhale together and exhale together. Now you're going to stick the tongue out and roll it, and you're going to inhale through the curled tongue. Seal the lips and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the curled tongue. Seal the lips and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the curled tongue. And exhale out of the nose, keeping the lips sealed. Now that was just 3 rounds. I can't demonstrate more than that. This is a very powerful practice. It's very cooling. You can feel that cooling air coming straight down into the digestion. So this is also going to cool. This is cooling all the way down. So it is possible to overcool, and we don't want you to do that because that brings about a host of other imbalances. So as you can feel, this reduces the internal body heat, this calms the nervous system, it balances the pitta dosha. Beginners start with 5 rounds of this. After a week, add 1 more round each week, and you don't want to go past about 15 rounds. Now, if you are not, there are many people that are not able to curl the tongue like that. They're not able to make this shape, which is fine. In that case, you'll do Sheetkari, which is you're going to press the lips together, not aggressively, just teeth touching. Smile, and you're going to inhale through the teeth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the teeth. And you'll want to do the same amount of rounds. So when you're first starting out, you'll do 5 rounds. Every week you can increase by 1 round until eventually you get to 10 to 15 rounds. That's really strong. That's Sheetali or Sheetkari. Now you're going to finish off with Nadi Shodhana. You're going to touch the index finger and the middle finger to Chittakash. This is the space between the eyebrows. You're going to close the right nostril with a thumb and keep the left nostril open. You're going to inhale, exhale all the breath. Inhale in through the left nostril. Pause, switch your fingers so you're closing the left nostril and opening the right, and exhale out of the right nostril. Inhale in through the right. Switch your fingers, open the left nostril, close the right, and exhale out the left. Now you want the inhale and the exhale to be the same length. Now I want you to start mentally counting them. 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, 4 Om, 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, 4 Om, like this. So 1 inhale, exhale, and then inhale, exhale. That's 1 full round. So you'll want to do 6 to 12 rounds of Nadi Shodhana after Sheetali or Sheetkari. And why do we want to finish off with Nadi Shodhana? In a previous video, I consider Nadi Shodhana the pranayama that sort of brings everything to it. It's a neutralizing, because different pranayamas have different effects on the different systems of the body. Some are cooling, some are warming, some focus on the respiratory system, some have an effect on the circulatory system, some have an effect on the digestive system. So these different systems are being sort of stimulated and targeted, and Nadi Shodhana brings this neutralizing effect, and it kind of seals it all together. So what it's doing is it's balancing the energies. So while Sheetali or Sheetkari cools the body and the brain, Nadi Shodhana helps to balance the subtle energy channels, which are the nadis. And because it's balancing the right and the left side, then it's really grounding. It has a grounding effect, and it stabilizes both the body and the mind. It enhances mental clarity, and it restores a kind of equilibrium. So you're eliminating any kind of mental fog, you're bringing about clarity and alertness. And then while Sheetali is addressing the heat, and so it's bringing a cooling effect to the body, the Nadi Shodhana, it ensures that it's cooling Ida and Pingala, the right and the left side hemispheres, that we're coming to balance before we go out into the world. Now, it is possible to, I mentioned this earlier, but it is possible to overcool the body. So we're going to talk about that here in a second. Okay, so more about Sheetali Pranayama or Sheetkari. You know, it is a very powerful pranayama. It cools the body very effectively. So you don't want to practice it, or you want to minimize the rounds if your body is already cold, even if you're in a hot flash, right? So if you're feeling cold or experiencing low metabolism, hypothyroidism, or other symptoms like kapha or vata imbalance, doing Sheetali could exacerbate it. So you want to limit the rounds of doing that. You don't want to practice it in cool weather or in a cool you want it to be you want it to be warm but not cold, not cool environment. You don't want to do too many rounds because, like I said, it's going to weaken. It cools all the way down to the digestive tract, and you don't want to weaken your digestion. You want your digestion to be strong and robust, and your digestive fire to be, strong. Sometimes when we have improper technique, we can take in cold air that might irritate the respiratory system. So if you are prone to respiratory issues, you want to watch that. Chronic respiratory issues would be asthma, bronchitis, maybe even sinusitis. So you'll want to watch those and monitor every moment of the Sheetali Pranayama. Signs you've overdone it, so things to look out for are if you're unusually cold or chilled, if you're feeling sluggish or low energy, if you have bloating or loss of appetite, that's your sign that you overdid it and you'll need to do a little bit less next time. So again, if you feel those things, you want to, we already talked about the rounds, so beginners 5 rounds, advanced 10 to 12 rounds, practice in warm weather or in a warm room, not hot, warm, comfortable, listen to your body, do Nadi Shodhana after, or the grounding poses, and avoid doing it after meals also. So practicing on a full stomach lowers your Agni, your digestive fire, and that causes discomfort and sluggishness. So those are some things to look out for. Now, I will also include more contraindications in the description, so keep an eye out for that. All right, so I wanted to talk briefly about some precautions to take as you're doing this practice. So you want to balance between cooling and warming. So if you're prone to feeling cold, then you want to alternate cooling practices with grounding and warming practices. For example, like the finishing off with a Nadi Shodhana. you want to listen to your body. So you want to avoid overcooling, which is pretty easy to do when it comes to Sheetali or Sheetkari. Those are both pretty powerful pranayamas. If you feel sluggish, heavy, or chilled during the practice, you want to stop. Avoid excessive cooling during menopause. So cooling practices are essential for managing hot flashes, but you can overcool the body, and that can lead to a different kind of imbalance. So this is, a delicate dance that we're doing. Make sure that you are hydrating, ensure you're staying hydrated, getting enough electrolytes. Before and after yoga, that'll help to maintain balance, especially during menopause. So we want to be as safe as we can be and effective as we can be in our yoga practices and our daily routines, and especially when we're using yoga clinically to target hot flashes. So thanks for joining me in today's video. Hopefully you find some relief. Please message me if you have any questions. I'm hoping that you'll feel more relaxed, calmer, and connected to your body. And I always say consistency is key, but what I really mean is daily practice is key, especially when we're working with navigating hormonal changes with ease and with grace. So take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.